unlock your phone, tap your banking app, wait for the Face ID to clear, and just look at the balance.
Yeah, a daily ritual for most of us.
Right. You probably do some version of this almost every single day. Maybe you swipe over to check out those like really clean color-coded pie charts that break down your monthly spending.
Oh, the pie charts. Everyone loves the pie charts.
Exactly. Or, you glance at a push notification about a recent transfer. We are just constantly interacting with our finances. But I want to ask you, the listener, a really honest question here. Does looking at those beautiful charts actually make you feel like you're getting better at managing your money? Or does it just make you feel like a spectator who's, I don't know, watching your own money just happen to you?
I mean, for most people, it's absolutely the latter. They feel heavily informed about their money, sure, but they don't feel any more capable of actually changing their financial trajectory.
Yeah,
And that disconnect is really the starting point for our deep dive today.
it is. We are diving deep into a really fascinating text today titled Beyond Financial Archaeology, The Power of Conscious Income Tracking. And the mission of this deep dive is to explore a pretty massive paradox.
Right, because banks have spent, well, hundreds of millions of dollars building these sleek, incredibly powerful mobile applications.
Oh, totally. I mean, we have more financial data sitting in our pockets right now than a Wall Street trader had 30 years ago.
It's crazy to think about.
It really is. Yet, having all this incredible technology hasn't systematically made people any richer. So we're going to break down why that is and explore a behavioral shift, moving our focus from our financial past to our financial present that completely rewires our relationship with earning.
And I think a great place to start is by really dismantling this illusion of control that modern banking interfaces provide.
The illusion of control. I like that. Let's unpack that.
Well, the user interface makes you feel like you are at the helm of a spaceship, right? You have dials, you have graphs, you have these automated categories.
Yeah, it feels very high-tech and proactive.
Right, it feels proactive. But if we look at the reality of user behavior over the last 10 years, since these highly advanced apps really became the standard, the average person doesn't actually feel one step closer to genuine financial growth.
Because the entire design is, well, it's fundamentally backward-looking.
Yes, exactly.
We open the app thinking we are managing our money, but really, we are just looking at a highly detailed record of things we've already done.
And there's a term in the source text that perfectly captures this dynamic. They call it financial archaeology.
Oh, man. Financial archaeology. I just couldn't get over that phrase when I read it.
It's so good, right?
It's a brilliant way to describe the feeling of looking at a bank statement. You aren't managing anything. You're just like sifting through the dirt, picking up little fragments of data, and trying to reconstruct a past civilization.
Which, in this case, is just your life from 3 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Think about the physical act of an archaeologist, right? They pull a broken piece of pottery out of the ground and try to deduce, after the fact, how a person lived. When you sit down on the first of the month and look at your spending categories, you are engaged in the exact same postmortem activity. You're looking at the remnants of your decisions. You see a spike in the dining out category, and you try to piece together where your money went.
It's the equivalent of trying to get into shape by solely analyzing the grocery store receipts of the food you already ate last week.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Like staring at a receipt that proves you bought 3 boxes of donuts last Tuesday? I mean, yeah, it's mathematically accurate, but it doesn't remove the calories you already consumed.
No, it definitely doesn't.
And it does absolutely nothing to help you build muscle today.
Right. And the central thesis here is that financial growth cannot begin with history. It has to begin with attention directed at the present moment.
Okay, so why don't banking apps capture the present moment?
Well, that brings us to a concept in the text called money noise.
Let's break down this money noise, because it really gets to the core of why mathematically flawless data can still be, well, completely useless.
Yeah, the bank app operates on a very simple binary, right? Money going out and money coming in. Every single penny that hits your account gets lumped into one giant bucket labeled income.
But human lives don't operate on simple binaries.
Far from it. I mean, the reality of daily cash flow is incredibly messy.
Right. So say you go out for dinner with a friend, right? You put down your card for the whole table, and your friend Venmos you $50 for their half of the meal.
Which happens all the time.
All the time. And your bank logs that $50 as income.
Yep.
Then a week later, your grandmother sends you $100 for your birthday. The bank logs that as income too. You sell a used bicycle on the internet, you get your actual earned salary from your day job, maybe you pull in some cash revenue from a weekend side hustle.
And the software treats all of these wildly different events as the exact same thing?
Yes, it all just gets dumped into one chaotic stream. So the app is providing a technically accurate data point like, sure, the balance went up.
Right, the math is right.
But it's providing zero actual understanding of your earning power. You see a green number, but your brain has no idea how much of that number represents your actual labor, your true financial progress, versus just, money briefly passing through your hands.
And the research highlights this disconnect by looking at people who handle daily cash flow, where this money noise is just deafening.
Okay, yeah. Give me an example.
Take a freelance hairdresser, for example. Walk through a typical Tuesday for them. They open the salon at 9 a.m., right? By noon, they've done a couple of cuts and taken in, say, $150 in revenue.
Great morning.
But then they also had to restock their supplies, so they spent $40 on specialized hair dye. Later that afternoon, they pay an $80 daily rental fee for their chair at the salon.
And then look at a taxi driver or a rideshare driver. Very similar dynamic. They pick up a passenger, drive across the city, and collect a $40 fare.
Right.
But immediately, a portion of that money just vanishes. They have to buy gas, they hit a toll booth, they have to set aside money for the inevitable car maintenance. And, of course, the ride-hailing platform takes a massive 30% commission right off the top.
Exactly. So money is constantly flowing through both of these people's hands. They are interacting with cash every single hour.
Yeah.
But if you were to stop that taxi driver at 5 p.m. on a Thursday and ask, hey, how much true, clear profit have you earned so far this week? They almost certainly couldn't tell you.
Which is wild because the raw data is all sitting right there in their banking app.
It is. The deposits are logged, the gas station purchases are logged, but the understanding is entirely buried. The actual metric that matters, their pure profit, the money that actually builds wealth, is just lost in the shuffle of gross revenue constantly warring with operating expenses.
Okay, I hear that, but I'm kind of stuck on this point. I feel like we need to defend the technology for a second here.
I'll go for it.
Because, we spend our whole lives trying to automate tedious tasks.
Right.
I want my software to talk to other software automatically in the background so I can go, spend time with my family or focus on my actual work. If my app is doing the complex math, if it's automatically categorizing the gas station as an auto expense and the supply store as a business expense, why is that a bad thing? Shouldn't we want the app to do the heavy lifting so we don't have to?
It's a completely logical assumption, and honestly, it's the exact reason the tech industry built these tools the way they did.
Right.
But it introduces what behavioral researchers call the automation paradox.
The automation paradox. Okay, what is that?
So automating a thermostat in your house makes perfect sense because the goal is just to keep the room at 72 degrees. You don't need to learn anything. You just want to be comfortable.
Yeah, set it and forget it.
Exactly. But when you automate your financial tracking, you are outsourcing the single most critical ingredient required for changing human behavior,
Which is
your active attention.
Oh, so we are essentially outsourcing our awareness.
Yeah.
We're asking the app to care about our money so we don't have to.
Precisely. And there are a couple of really great analogies in the source material that illustrate why this fails. Imagine you decide you want to run a marathon.
Okay.
You go to a specialty running store and you buy the absolute best, most highly engineered running shoes on the market. They are aerodynamically perfect, but if you put them in your closet and never actually go outside for a run, those premium shoes do absolutely nothing for your cardiovascular health.
Yeah, the shoes cannot run the miles for you.
Right. Or think about signing up for a luxury gym.
Yeah.
You can pay for the premium membership. The gym can have the best equipment in the world. They can have perfectly automated billing so you never miss a payment.
Yeah.
But if you physically stay on your couch, your fitness level remains completely stagnant. The tool itself changes nothing.
The only thing that changes your physical health is the sweat and attention you put into the workout.
Exactly. And the same applies to financial health. Only the active attention you are willing to give to the reality of your money actually changes your financial trajectory. By automating the tracking, we train ourselves to be passive spectators. We check the app, we see the pie chart, we nod our heads at the data, and we close the app. We haven't engaged the reality of our earning or spending. We've just acknowledged a notification.
Which means the hairdresser and the taxi driver aren't lazy.
No, not at all.
They work incredibly hard. And they certainly aren't lacking in mobile technology. Their focus just isn't being directed by these tools to ask the right questions.
Right.
They're being trained to ask what happened when they really need to be asking what is happening right now.
Exactly. Conscious tracking requires active questions. It means pausing in the present moment to ask, how much pure profit did I earn today? Am I on a streak of profitable days? Is the effort I put in this morning actually moving me closer to my specific financial goal for the month?
Okay, so if the passive automated way is essentially keeping us asleep at the wheel, what does this active attention actually look like in practice? How do we break the habit of being financial archaeologists?
Well, the research introduces a fascinating case study here. They look at the methodology behind a specific behavioral tool called MoneyWorks.
MoneyWorks, okay.
And what makes MoneyWorks such a compelling example is that it was designed with a philosophy that completely contradicts the rest of the financial tech industry. It is intentionally not an automatic expense tracker.
Which makes sense because we really don't need another app that connects to our bank and automatically highlights our coffee purchases in red. We have 1,000 of those.
Right. The market is saturated. But the designers of this methodology introduced a concept that feels almost radical today. The system requires the user to log their income manually.
Manual data entry.
Yes.
I mean, in an era where artificial intelligence can write a novel in 10 seconds, the proposed solution is to force people to physically type numbers into their phones themselves.
I know, it sounds crazy.
When I first encountered that idea in the text, it sounded like a massive step backward. It sounded like a total chore.
Yeah.
But when you dig into the psychology of it, the mechanism is incredibly clever.
It feels completely counterintuitive until you realize that the friction is the entire point. It's a feature, not a bug.
Right.
They didn't make it manual because they lacked the technological skill to automate it. They built in that physical, deliberate hurdle because the act of typing in the number forces your brain to separate your real earned money from all that money noise we were just talking about.
Okay, let's look at how that actually plays out hour by hour. Your friend Venmos you for the pizza. You get the notification, but you don't open the manual tracking app to log it.
No, you don't.
The friction makes you pause and evaluate the money. You think, wait, did I earn this? No, this is just a reimbursement. It's noise. So you ignore it.
Exactly.
But later that afternoon, you finish a freelance design project, and the client pays you $400. Now you open the app, and you physically type in that revenue.
And that brief pause, that evaluation, is where the magic happens. You are forcing your brain to engage directly with your actual earning power.
It's so simple, but so effective.
The research details a profound psychological shift that occurs when users embrace this tiny bit of manual friction. Because you are only logging true income, entirely new behavioral patterns begin to emerge.
You stop digging through the ruins of your past spending, and you start actively building a present-day awareness of your value.
Yes. Users start watching their cumulative true income grow in real time. And this introduces a powerful element of gamification.
Right, the streaks.
Yeah, the methodology encourages tracking streaks. If you earn real profit 3 days in a row, you build a streak.
And a streak is a brilliant psychological lever. If that freelance designer is on a 4-day earning streak and Friday rolls around, they might normally just take the afternoon off.
Sure.
But because they are actively paying attention to the streak, they might send out 3 extra cold emails or follow up with an old client just to ensure they book some revenue and keep the streak alive for a 5th day.
And that's the whole point. The manual tracking is the mechanism that literally generates more wealth. They begin to set highly specific, proactive goals. And because they are paying attention to the input rather than the output, they start noticing invisible levers in their daily life.
Like the taxi driver?
Yes, the taxi driver. He's manually logging his pure profit and suddenly realizes, wait, I make 40% of my entire weekly profit just driving during the Tuesday morning rainstorm, but I'm actually losing money driving around on quiet Sunday afternoons.
Oh, wow.
And the automated bank app never told him that because the signal was just completely lost in the noise of gross revenue.
So the end result of all this manual friction is a complete paradigm shift in how we view personal finance. We are conditioned by traditional banking apps to obsess over our spending.
Yep, completely.
Those apps shrink our focus down to playing defense. We feel guilty about the subscription service, we stress over the price of groceries, but conscious income tracking shifts your entire focus to playing offense.
And that pivot from defense to offense is arguably the only way to achieve significant financial growth. You cannot shrink your way to wealth simply by cutting expenses. There is a floor to how little you can spend. But there is technically no ceiling to what you can earn. Eventually, you have to focus on the top line. You have to focus on the income.
It transforms personal finance from a punishment into an empowerment tool.
Yeah.
You aren't constantly auditing your past mistakes. You are actively looking for opportunities in your present.
Exactly. And if we distill this entire body of research down to its absolute core, there is one undeniable truth that emerges. It's a short phrase, but it carries immense weight.
Let's hear it.
Money loves attention.
Money loves attention. That is a really profound way to frame it.
It clarifies exactly what kind of attention actually moves the needle. Money doesn't respond to automated push notifications.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't multiply because a piece of software generated a color-coordinated PDF at the end of the month. Money responds to human attention directed at personal, active financial decisions in the present moment.
To really cement how this changes our daily lives, the analysis leaves us with a brilliant metaphor. A traditional banking app is a rearview mirror. It provides a high-definition, perfectly accurate picture of exactly where you have been. But conscious income tracking, the active, slightly frictional engagement we've been discussing, is a map and a compass.
And the crucial distinction is that a map and compass do not do the work for you. You still have to hike the trail. You still have to navigate the terrain.
Right, you can't just stare at the map and expect to teleport.
Exactly. But doing the work with a map in your hands, with your eyes looking forward through the windshield instead of constantly staring into the rearview mirror, makes the journey vastly more intentional.
It puts you back in the driver's seat. You are no longer a passenger watching the scenery roll by, wondering how you ended up at your destination.
You regain agency because your attention is finally focused on the road ahead.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a quick experiment to try today.
Ooh, I like experiments.
Sometime in the next few hours, just open up your banking app, the same one you check all the time anyway. Look at the last 3 deposits that hit your account, just the last 3.
Okay.
Now ask yourself, do you instantly, intuitively know which of those deposits actually moved you closer to your real financial goals? And which ones were just money noise passing through your life?
That's a great question.
Think about the implications of your answer. We spend so much energy worrying about where our money is leaking out. But what if your biggest financial leak isn't your spending habits at all? What if your biggest leak is a complete lack of active attention to exactly how you earn?